here's a story. I'm not sure why it's a story, but it's a big story, or at least it's being talked about on social media. So the reporter for Jacksonville Jaguars is named Lynn Jones. She works for the Jacksonville Free Press. And following the loss by the Jags to the Buffalo Bills, Jones, the reporter, offered support and some positive words to head coach Liam Coen.
I want to tell you, congratulations on your success, young man.
Thank you.
You hold your head up, all right? You guys have had a most magnificent season.
Thank you.
And you did a great job out there today.
Appreciate
so you
it.
just hold your head up, okay?
Thank
and
you,
ladies
ma'am.
and gentlemen, Duval, you the one, all
Thank
right?
you, ma'am.
keep it going. We got another season, okay?
I appreciate
Take
it.
care and much continued success to you and the entire team.
Thank you, ma'am.
She's been in broadcast journalism for over 3 decades. She is the associate editor and sales team manager for the Jacksonville Free Press. I think she's also done some hosting and TV as well. I don't know her. I don't think that I've met her. But here is the point that is being made by a lot of either hosts, former players, analysts. A lot of debate with this. Should you be saying this in a press conference? You're a member of the media, and yes, Jacksonville just lost. You're a hometown reporter, but you're still a journalist. Your job is to ask questions to get answers from Liam Coen, and then you put it in your article. That's what your job is. You're not a former player who plays for Jacksonville, it's not like Tony Baselli. If he went there and said that in a press conference, no one would have a problem with that. But if you're a reporter and you're saying this, you can say it in a way that you almost want Liam Coen to tell you what he accomplished this year. If you just put it in question form, Coach, tough loss, can you put it into words, what you've done this year? So now you've let him kind of tell you what you are already telling him in that clip that I just played for you. And this is different than if Tony Dungy says something about Mike Tomlin or to Mike Tomlin, or Rodney Harrison says something about the New England Patriots. They're former players. This is a press conference, and you're a journalist. Now, look, I don't root. I didn't like it when Stuart Scott openly rooted, or Chris Berman openly rooted. I didn't like it. But hey, they had their own agenda. I'm sure there are things that they didn't like of my approach here. But it shouldn't be a big deal. I think this reporter was very compassionate, and it was a tough loss. And she said it, and she's been there in the community for over 30 years. Okay. It's not what we should be doing, but it's not the end of the world. And now you got people who are, saying, oh, you old journalist, and you guys, your days are numbered, and polar credential, we need journalism. We need people asking questions. I've admitted I got too close to players before. Paid the price, You can't do it. Because I got too close to Jason Giambi and Mark McGuire. And then when I had to report on them, then all of a sudden I lost friendships. But that's on me. So I've done this firsthand, but I'm not openly rooting for you. I mean, Kurt Warner went to the Super Bowl with Arizona. And I did an interview with him that season. I said, if you take them to the Super Bowl, you're going to go to the Hall of Fame. And that's exactly what happened. But you know what I did after that Super Bowl? I went to Kurt Warner privately and told him, that was an incredible job, and you are going to the Hall of Fame. Not at the press conference. You could still pull him aside if you want to talk to the coach. Hey, coach, I just want you to know what you've meant to this community. But this isn't, hey, the old school journalist. No, we still need people who ask questions. Not everybody has to be a cheerleader. And former players are not journalists. Don't expect them to be. People would pile on Pat McAfee. You got to ask, Aaron Rodgers tough questions. Pat's an entertainer. I'm not expecting him to ask the questions that I would ask. And vice versa. Like it's a paid interview. You have him come on, you talk, let him talk. Okay. There's a reason why he wanted to keep going back on that show. He got freedom to say what he wanted to say, but that's Pat's show. I don't have any problem with that. Yes, Eaton.
It's kind of ironic, too, because Lynn Jones probably did and got one of the realest things to happen in a post-game press conference in years. Where they're like actual human emotion and interaction rather than the same robotic answers that every journalist in the room is going to. Coach, what does it feel like, Coach? Hey, Coach, looking forward to next year, Coach? What's the plan, Coach? Coach, what are you going to do in all the same crap that people ask every single press conference? It's a totally different thing.
And the approach in these press conferences to so-called journalism has changed dramatically. I don't know if it's for the good. I mean, that's for you, the consumer. My approach will be my approach for at least the next 2 years. But that's what I teach at my broadcasting school. Whatever you do after that, I want to give you the foundation of what you should do when you go to a press conference. You're not there to be cheering in the press box. You're not there to be cheering in a press conference. But it became like this back and forth on social media. And that's what was surprising is I think it came from a good place with her. That, yes, she was proud. And, yes, it was a local reporter. But that's where, I pull you aside and say, I hope you understand exactly what you did for this community. And be proud and hold your head up. But, to make it like this is Nixon-Frost debate. Yeah, Paulie.
Yeah, when I heard it yesterday and I saw how it was posted, I'll get to that. But I both thought that, wow, it was really sweet what she said, and also that journalists are not supposed to do that in press conferences. And everyone knows that. It's not even a debate that you're not supposed to handle questions or statements that way. But what she said was really sweet. I didn't think Adam Schefter did her any favors when he posted, "This is an awesome post-game exchange between a reporter and head coach Liam Coen." He gave no context to the person asking how old they were, how long they've been there. And people came after this reporter. Yeah. And it took me a while to look up how long she'd been there. And I took a minute. But Schefter did her no favors in posting it that way.
Yeah. And this isn't, hey, I got my show and I get to, treat my guests this way. This is a reporter. It's different. We have to play by different rules. We're not cheerleaders. It's not like Teddy Bruschi's on the mothership and he's saying nice things about the Patriots. He's a former Patriot. You have to approach this as fair as you possibly can. Because I always thought when you're watching SportsCenter, I want to make sure you know that I don't have a bias. I don't have a bias against your team or for your team. I don't want you to ever think that. Because when somebody says, "Oh, who you want to win?" I go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, case in point, when we were at Notre Dame, you can't help but like Marcus Freeman. But if USC won that game, it's content. If Miami wins the national title, I don't care. I mean, Indiana's a great story, but if Miami wins, it's still a great story. That's what I'm in the storytelling business. But you're not in the business of rooting. And I'm guilty of this. It's hard not to do it. And people want access. How do you get access? By being nice to people, by saying nice things about people. I mean, there are people who won't come on this show. But, there are reasons, and it's not that I didn't do my job. It's that I do my job. At least what I think is my job. And this is my show. My approach is different than throw out other hosts. How Jim Rome or Colin does his, or, the ESPN morning show. I mean, everybody, that's your territory. Do what you want.